Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 21 of my Southampton series for Football Manager 2016. Now, before we get into things, I have to say that this is actually not a live commentary. For whatever reason, something happened to my audio of the video that I recorded that you're watching right now. And when I went to play it back, there was no audio on it. I guess my microphone, I don't know, it was plugged in properly, but I just have no idea what happened to the audio. Anyway, as you can see, we are still manager of Southampton. And things have been really good, but there was a period just after the last episode that I found very difficult, and I had about two more meetings with the board. But as you can see by the league table there, we are in 10th position. We can't get that ninth today, but we can definitely hold on to 10th with a win. But of course, we are versing Manchester United in today's live commentary, which is, I guess, not a live commentary anymore. But you guys will be seeing me play it live, of course. And it's going to be a very tough game, but I think we could pull off a decent result today. Of course, I already know the result, so not giving away too much there. But the fixtures, so of course the previous episode was the live com against, I think it was Reading. Yeah, it was, in the FA Cup fourth round, which was a 0-0 draw, which meant we had to go to a replay. We then followed that up with a beautiful little 1-0 victory over Arsenal, if I click on it in a second here. I've never actually done a commentary after the fact either, but here we go. Zivkovic with the only goal of the game there. And we got a win over Arsenal, exactly what I needed at that point in time. We then followed that up with another victory, this time coming in the FA Cup fourth round replay. Zivkovic again with the only goal, and he also missed a penalty. Their goalkeeper, Kim Seong-gyu, got a Man of the Match award with a 9.1 match rating. We then beat Manchester City for the first time in the whole series. Yes, guys. 2-1 victory, Zivkovic with both goals, a penalty, and then a goal in the 57th minute after City took the lead early on through Mbolo, who is an absolute beast of a striker, and I really wish I'd signed him early on, because I think Tottenham actually paid $49.5 million for him earlier on. Yeah, then we crashed back down to earth with a 2-1 loss to Norwich in the FA Cup fifth round. And by that point in time, as you can see, I'm probably mentioning there, we were actually, the job was safe, but then we had a few more poor results. Hervan Onyenda opened the scoring for Norwich in that game. Solly March got another one ahead for them, and then Eckhart got one back for us, but it was too late. Too little, too late. We then couldn't beat Tottenham. Very disappointing result, not going to lie. We were at home, and I was expecting us to, pull another decent result out of our arse. But Dino Ferreira, who is a Portuguese regen, looks very, very good. Got their goal in the second minute. And Virgil van Dijk managed to get himself sent off. As you can see, there's his stats. Looks pretty good for a 20-year-old. And Virgil van Dijk got a straight red card and got himself sent off the field. So we're going to have to wait for the highlights here, or wait for the match report to come back up. But yeah, he got sent off in the eighth minute, and we still dominated possession, which is interesting. But Alderweireld picked up man of the match for Tottenham there, and we just couldn't really get anything going, being a man down. Not the greatest result in the world, and I think after the next game, which was a 1-0 loss to Hull at home, which is extremely disappointing, I actually had to do another board meeting that said if you lose the next game, you're going to get the sack. So yeah, but Seferovic there getting the goal for Hull, and making the board give me an ultimatum as far as results go. But we did, however, bounce back. We versed Reading once again, 2-1 victory over them. Zivkovic with another brace, and Balic in the 80th minute getting a straight red card. And then, of course, for the last 10 minutes after that, we were totally under the pump. And they actually got a goal through Daniel Williams 3 minutes after that red card. So, yeah, Zivkovic finding a decent little vein of form. Of course, we changed the tactic slightly. We made him a poacher, and it worked. We then lost to Crystal Palace in the next game, 2-1. Basikoglu opened the scoring for them. We got one back through Tom Aguila off a corner, and Corley Woodrow, who is actually the top goal scorer in the league, managed to get the winner for them. So not the greatest result in the world, and again, it put a bit of pressure on me. The board gave me another meeting, actually, after this, if I remember correctly. And they said if you lose to Queen's Park Rangers, you are getting the sack once again. But we did manage to get a 3-0 victory over them. Zivkovic, Tom Aguila and Zerdan Shaqiri getting his first goal for the club. And, of course, San Emeterio there picking up a 9-match rating and a Man of the Match award. So, a very good result. I think that actually relegated Queen's Park Rangers, so it was a pretty decent result. We then followed up with a 2-2 draw to Watford. Kenneth Franson getting his first goal for the club, who is the Danish regen. And then Tom Aguila also on the score sheet. And then, Mattia Destro got both goals for Watford there. And, was quite disappointed with that, conceding two goals to him. But anyway, we then followed it up with a 0-0 draw to Aston Villa at home. And as you can see, Wojciech Szczesny absolutely played out of his skin and kept us in this game massively. He saved all 6 shots by Villa there. And, we got a point out of it, which was actually, it was a pretty important point. I'm not going to lie. The next game was a 3-1 away victory to Leicester City, which is a very decent result. And as you can see there, Jamie Vardy, of course, opened the scoring for Leicester, as he always does. Loves scoring against me. But Nathan Redmond, Shaqiri, and Balic on the score sheet there for us. We then managed to pick up another win, which is quite impressive. This time a clean sheet, 2-0 victory over Sheffield Wednesday, who have been pretty impressive this season, I'm not going to lie. They're actually just below us, I believe. But Wanyama and Balic again on the score sheet there for us. Two very impressive fixtures. Was followed up with another one, actually. A nice little 1-0 victory over Derby County. Tom Aguila on the score sheet there, and got himself a Man of the Match award. We then managed a 1-1 draw with Newcastle. Wijnaldum opened the scoring for them, and then who else but Zivkovic getting the goal back for us there. And Emeterio once again. I don't know what it is, but my right wing backs just seem to play super, super good every game. And it doesn't matter if it's Sakai or Emeterio, they both just play extremely well. And the final game I just played was a 1-0 victory over Nottingham Forest, and this result actually sent Nottingham Forest into relegation. And Zivkovic with our goal there. So of course that does leave us with Manchester United in the live com today. Well, I keep saying live com, but in today's game, I should say. Of course, I already know the result, but as you can see there, we are 1 point ahead of Sheffield Wednesday, as I just mentioned before. And of course, if we lose today and they get a result, they could potentially go above us if they win their game. So I'd like to win this game against United, but of course, it's going to be very, very hard because it's United and it's at Old Trafford as well. So, yeah. But as you can see there, Zivkovic, 16 goals. I think he's 1 goal off his 15 league goal bonus, which is like 450,000. Then you got Sakai, who has been our best performer this season. Actually, I already know because I've done the episode, of course, previously, but both of our right wing backs are both of our best players in the team, so that goes to show what I was saying before about them. They're both quite outstanding. But yeah, Carrasco, he's kind of dropped out since we brought Redmond and Shaqiri in, but he has the most assists, which is a little bit worrying because I guess is it worrying? Or I don't know, maybe we just get assists from everybody, I suppose. But if you go a little bit further down, Andrea Balic, 85% pass completion. It's pretty decent. Not gonna knock that by any means. He's our central midfielder. That is basically his job to complete the passes in the midfield. But then you got Sakai, 8 Player of the Match awards, pretty decent. And as expected, Victor Wanyama picking up the most yellow cards with 13. So that's a lot. Anyway, today's game, we'll get into the lineup first of all. Okay, so today's lineup, Szczesny in goals. We've got Veervoort Tuzen as the right centre-back, Van Dijk as the central ball-playing defender, Tom Aguila as the left centre-back. We got Rodriguez as the left wing-back, Emeterio as the right wing-back, Wanyama as our central ball-winning midfielder, Balic as the deep-line playmaker, Redmond on the left wing, Shaqiri on the right wing, and Zukovic up front. The bench today will be Romero, Mamana, Sakai, Hurst, Ogonbi, Carrasco, and Lopez. So let's get into the team talk. Of course, United are the favourites. They're actually sitting in 4th position, so yeah, the top 4 have already got all their spots sorted out. But of course, if they pick up a win here today, they might actually go ahead into 3rd position. Another thing to mention, Man City did not win the league this season, which is very interesting because of all their recent dominance. But Tottenham actually won the league. Chelsea won both of the cups. But yeah, Tottenham won the league, which I found very interesting. They do have a very good squad. And of course, they beat us recently. Only 1-0, to be fair. But they have a very decent squad, of course, as you can imagine. Oh, we nearly scored there. That would have been lovely to get an early goal. Cristiante, Masterson, Balic on the ball, playing it out wide, Shaqiri, crosses it, Zivkovic 1-0, gets in. 17th goal of the season, gets his little bonus there for his 15 league goals, which is quite impressive because we haven't really had anyone that's scored 15 league goals. So yeah, of course, Iheanacho I think maybe got 12 in a season. And of course, well, less said about Iheanacho at the moment, the better, because he's leaving on a free transfer to Leverkusen. But United are in behind here. El Ghazi shoots. Oh, and it's off the post. Ooh. That was really close. They nearly got the equaliser there. Of course, they are playing a player like Benzema up front, so, we have massive things to worry about here today. Shaqiri with the free kick. Swings it in. Virgil. Oh, rebound. Zivkovic on the rebound. True poacher's goal right there. That's his 18th of the season. Very impressed with him. Since we changed him into a poacher, he's really just, transformed as far as goal scoring goes. And we're 2-0 up here, going into half-time against Manchester United. I really am quite impressed with this result so far. Okay, so that is basically half-time. And apparently Zivkovic has run Man United ragged. So I'm going to tell the boys that we're happy with that. And start the second half, I suppose. Alright, so Shaqiri's got an assist. Van Dijk's also got an assist from his header that he headed. And the goalkeeper saved, of course. Tom Aguila just picked up a yellow card as well, so that's a little bit worrying. And they're making a few substitutions. Not getting a highlight so far. I think that's all 3 subs they've just made. So that's an interesting one. We've got a corner, Balic. It's cleared away. We will get to it first though. Wanyama. Van Voorthuizen. Tom Aguila. Rodriguez now. Keeping the ball pretty nicely until we give it away as soon as I say something. And now United could be on a counter-attack here. Memphis to Tapia. Gribben. He's in behind. One-on-one with the keeper. And he absolutely skews his shot. That was quite poor by a player of United standards. When Yama picks up a yellow card, that's his, 14th of the season. We are playing quite well. As I mentioned, Borja, Santa Materio, 8.3. And of course you've got Zivkovic on an 8.8 with his 2 goals. But Shaqiri, 7.8 now. It's very impressive. I was going to make a substitution, but yeah, I'd prefer not to change anything as pretty much the whole team is playing quite well right now. And it looks like we're about to get a win over Manchester United in the last game of the season. Nice little 2-0 victory. And there's only 30 seconds or so left of the game. United are trying to play it forward. Benzema's in behind. But Szczesny, he just gets there, right on the edge of the box. His form has also transformed a little bit. He started playing a lot better. He kept a few clean sheets, and it's amazing what your goalkeeper can do when he pulls his head in, basically. Because I don't want to lay all the blame on Szczesny, but he was a massive part as to why we were losing a lot of games. He does have very high eccentricity. But I'm going to tell the boys here that was really special, and they played magnificently. And as you can see, we pretty much dominated United away from home at Old Trafford. Rodriguez playing a 7.6 as our key player there. But of course, player of the match actually went to San Emeterio. It didn't even go to Zivkovic, who scored the 2 goals. That's what I'm talking about. The right wing backs, for some reason, just play absolutely amazing. And he just beat a guy that just scored 2 goals in that game. So, yeah, but as you can see, Arsenal beat Watford 5-2. Derby County beat Everton 4-0. And yeah, Newcastle beat Liverpool. So there were some pretty big shocks in the last day of the season. And QPR sacked their manager there, as you can see. Given just over 20 million for finishing in 10th place. And yeah, as I forgot to mention it before, but Senegal actually gave me their international job. And of course, I've got a couple of games left to go in the African Cup of Nations qualifying group. We've got Egypt first up, which is going to be a tough game. I don't know if I'll actually put too much of this international management into the save, but I just wanted to mention it here, just so you guys know what's going on, I suppose. But here we go. We're into a bit of a squad review here. If I can work out what I'm doing, I just had a brain snap here. All you guys are probably laughing at me. I just wanted to get the player information, the selection info. Sorry. Yeah, just had a bit of a brain fart. But there you go. Sakai 7.86 match rating over 29 games played is our best performer. Of course, Wellington Silva's there, but he was at Barrow on loan. Finally got Bulgarian nationality, so he will be here next season. How much we play him, I don't really know, because of course we've got Kostic. We've also got Shaqiri now, who has really found his skin. But Borgeson, Emeterio, second best performer, 7.78 after 12 starts with 1 sub-appearance. I apologise if you can hear my dog in the background there. But as you can see, it's his best season by far since coming to the club. For 2.7 million from Racing de Santa in the first season, so very decent there. And Luis Mercado, the next player, of course, he only played the 1 game. It was a cup game as well, so he got his first goal for the club in that. And of course, picked up a 7.6 match rating, which is pretty decent, not going to lie. And he looks pretty good. I don't know where he's in the pecking order though. He's not actually an inside forward either, which is not great because, I would like an inside forward. But yeah, pretty good rating for his first game that he played, and I'm quite impressed with how he actually performed in that game as well. But Van Dijk's up next, 40 starts for him, just the 1 goal and a 7.37 match rating. He is pretty impressive. He's our vice-captain, I believe. Actually, he might even be the captain now. I think he is. Anyway, Nathan Redmond, of course, brought in January to the club when we were struggling. 10 starts, 1 goal, 7.25, which is very decent for a player. Just brought in January. That picked up a 9-week injury during that time as well. So, very impressed with him there. Then we have Xherdan Shaqiri, of course, the other player I brought in January. He started 18 games, 1 sub-appearance. Got 2 goals and a 7.17 match rating there for him. Victor Wanyama up next, 29 starts, 2 goals, 7.14 match rating. Rodriguez, of course, had to fill in for the Sol Katembe. He started 19 games with 4 sub-appearances and managed to pick up a 7.11 match rating, which is, of course, the same match rating as Nick Hurst, the English regen. He started 15 games with 2 sub-appearances and got a 7.11, as I mentioned, the same as Rodriguez. Zivkovic is up next, and he played very well this season, as you can tell. 25 starts, 7 sub-appearances. Got himself, well, there's Nick Hurst's profile, as you guys can see on the screen there. Very impressive. He's come on leaps and bounds. But Zivkovic, 18 goals, 7.07 match rating over the season. I think that's pretty good for a striker. That for half the season maybe scored 5 goals or something, playing as a complete forward. So, yeah, very impressed with him. And he's going to have a lot of interest about him, which is worrying, because I think he's the 3rd top goal scorer in the league. But then Carrasco's up next. He started 22 games with 2 sub-appearances. He's got 1 goal, 5 assists, of course, and a 7.02. Tom McWheeler, 41 starts, 6 goals, and a 6.97 match rating over the season, which is exactly the same as Kostic, who started 18 games with 3 sub-appearances and 2 goals. Up next, we have Alex Eckhart, 11 starts, 7 sub-appearances. Got a fair bit of game time this season. He got himself 3 goals as well, which is, pretty impressive as a left inside forward. He got a 6.96. Mamana, the next player, 17 starts, of course, was brought in January with Shaqiri and Redmond. He got a 6.96 as well, over 17 starts. It's pretty decent. Could be a little bit better from a player of his quality, but anyway. Next up, we have Balic, who, of course, had big shoes to fill, as Maya was release claused to Real Madrid for 41 million. He started 20 games with 6 sub-appearances, 2 goals, and averaged a 6.91, so pretty decent. And he's actually improved quite a bit throughout the season, and he's really taken that first-team spot back that he lost out to Myers. The less said about Iheanacho, the better. Didn't score any goals when he played this season, and I'm kind of glad that he's leaving. But I kind of wish I got at least 5 mil for him, which was pretty much his value throughout the season. I think now at the moment he's worth like 1 million or something, so quite low. But I expect him to shoot up in value once he actually gets to Leverkusen. So Ogun B got a 6.87, sorry, in 7 starts with 6 sub-appearances. Van Tuzen, 24 starts, 1 sub-appearance, 1 goal, and a 6.86. And then, of course, Wojciech Szczesny, who got 44 starts and managed to average 6.83. The rest of the players there, as you can see, before I clicked on Juan Iturbe's profile, who was, of course, joining Boca Juniors for about 4 million, I believe, which is very low. But the rest of the players didn't really play many games, and yeah, that's basically going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Drop a like if you have, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one, which will be, of course, pre-season for, I think it's season 6? Yeah, I think it's season 6. So, yeah, once again, I apologise for the audio not recording, and of course having to do this live commentary after the fact. But of course, you guys saw everything that happened in the episode anyway, and I've just kind of reiterated that. Another thing to mention, look out for my new series, which will be coming out in the coming days, hopefully around New Year's time, just after the New Year, possibly. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Hope you have enjoyed, and goodbye.